Kay said some of us were down here that didn't ride a motorcycle. Well, I have to confess my like of a motorcycle. I heard a man at breakfast one day this week. It said something about, it's not just the people that come under the tent, but it's the people that we pass on the street or we see in the restaurant or wherever we are. Well, I don't have a tent story, but we went out to a place to eat our evening meal, and the waitress came. They set us in almost 3 groups, but the waitress came over to the group of 4, and one of the men at that table asked her, said, "Is there anything we can pray for you about when we pray for our meal?" She says, "Oh no, my life is wonderful. Things are excellent." Well, he come over to our table, and I said, "I don't know what that guy asked you, but we're going to pray for our food here in just a minute. Is there anything we could pray for you about?" She said, "My life is wonderful. It is just so good." Well, she left. The table over there prayed for their food, and I found out later on that one of the men at the table that prayed that if things are so good for her, Lord, that she doesn't know you, I pray you take it away from her so she can get to where she knows you. Well, man in the room here with us tonight prayed at our table and said, "Lord, if it's that good for her, she must be doing some things she's not supposed to be doing." I thought those were pretty good prayers. Well, by chance, the past worship leader at our church happened to come over, seen us and came over, and we're standing there just rejoicing that he's there, and we hadn't seen him in a couple of years, and you know how it is when you see somebody after a couple of years. And Clayton Reeves asked this worship pastor, "You sing?" "Yeah." "Well, how about doing a song for us here in the restaurant?" "Oh, no, I can't do that here in front of all these people." He said, "Well, God gave you the ability to sing, didn't you?" "Well, yeah." He said, "Well, God's going to take it if you don't use it." Now, we didn't know, but the waitress was at the table where they prayed that God take from you. And he's witnessing to this waitress. And right when he got finished with the gospel, this former worship leader at our church broke out into Amazing Grace. And then we began to join in. There was a Outlaws member that was right behind Joe Campbell's wife. He was singing along. The waitress started to sing, and John told her, "You can't sing that song." "Why not?" "You're not saved." She said, "I want to be." So she went back in the kitchen and got right with God. When you stop going home to buy gas for your motorcycle or your car or whatever you drove, there's going to be somebody right on the other side of the pump that's going to be buying gas too. Guess what they don't have? They don't have your testimony. You gave it down here time after time after time. Do it when you're at that gas station. If you remember, that man said, "Go home changed. Don't be the same when you get home that you were before you left home." God gave us something so precious. He gave us His Son, Jesus, and we'll go to a restaurant and we'll tell every one of our neighbors and strangers, "That place is good. Oh, it's real good." How good is Jesus? How good is Jesus in your life? Are you going to tell somebody how good Jesus is? Or are you just going to eat of that blessed food and not share it?